Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm going to be showing you this glorious piece of distortion pedal made by Wampler. It's called the Triple Wreck. And as you can guess probably from the name, it's sort of based off the Mesa Boogie Rectifiers. And I've had a rectifier and it was a cool amp, and I ended up going over to the Mark IV just for tonal preferences. But I thought it would be cool to have that rectifier sound on tap if I wanted it for something. So I did a little research and this looked like the way to go. So I went and picked one up, and I've just been, overwhelmingly happy with the results. I'm going to take you through some of the sounds here. We're going to be playing on the clean channel of my Mark IV here, which sounds like this. And we'll go through some of the different sounds on the pedal here. So we'll start with the knobs are all the way up, as you can see, and or there's at noon. And the gain is at like 9. So here's the pedal on. So it already has a present sort of low-mid fatness to it. So we'll take the gain up to about halfway. And here's what that sounds like. And let's take it up to about 3 o'clock. So you can see this gain on the pedal is just, it's got loads and loads of gain and sustain, and that's without the boost, which we'll get to in a minute. So now let's put it back to the 9 o'clock type setting, and then we'll go to the brutal mode, which this is really the same thing as switching between vintage and modern mode on a rectifier, in my opinion. It acts just like it. So here's that, but now we're in brutal mode, so it's going to be considerably brighter and probably a little bit louder. Okay, now we'll take it up to 12. Okay, and now again up to about 3 o'clock. So it gets really tight and chunky and percussive, so you can do all that kind of stuff. So now let's take the gain back down just a little bit, and let's play with the EQ. So if I take the mids down maybe a little bit, add a little bass, and add just a little bit of treble, let's see what that does. So that gives you the sort of classic rectifier sound where it's kind of scooped out in the mid-range. Let's try it back in the bass down some, take the mids up, and we'll get somewhere a little bit more mid-range crunch, almost like a Marshall type sound. Okay, now let's try something really drastic. Just so you can see what the mid-range control will do, I'll just scoop it way out. And this is, I would never use the tone like this, but this gives you an idea how much control you have in the mid-range just with this knob. Alright, and in the other direction, gonna get a ton of mid-range. And so the knobs are really, really responsive. I kind of like it somewhere in this vicinity, and with the bass kind of in the same area, and the treble maybe just a little bit higher. And so I might use it something like this. Alright, so now let's talk about the boost. The boost here, if you reach down and click it, you can see the red light comes on, and this gives you some more added gain on tap. And depending on how you set this knob here, the contour knob, it'll either have kind of a traditional boost overdrive sound, or it'll get into sort of fuzz land. So with the knob all the way to the left, it sounds like this. Okay, so tons of gain. Now, let's leave it on here. We'll just put it in the halfway position. You'll hear it starts to get a little warmer and almost kind of a fuzz tone. Especially on the low strings, it really starts to over-compress like a fuzz pedal. And so now we'll take it all the way over to the fuzz side, and this gets really kind of like ratty and like an old, big muff or something. And so that's all with just that. So we switch that back off, we're right back to this. So if you wanted, you could use this pedal as both a great sort of rectifier crunch sound and a fuzz pedal. So here's the rectifier crunch. Click on the fuzz. So real quickly, I'll go through a couple of my favorite settings. If we take the gain back down to about here and take a little bit of the bass out, you can get kind of an old school kind of like classic rock type sound, which sounds like this. And then if you want a really, really screaming lead tone, take the treble back down a little bit, put the bass about there and the mid's up. We'll get the gain way up, and but not on the boost mode, and it sounds like this. And finally, let's go into like full brutality metal mode here. I'll just turn the bass up and scoop the mids out a little bit. Turn the gain all the way up, and you can hear now the gain's all the way up. It's got way ton of gain, and it's making a big nasty noise. But anyway, this sounds like this. So there you have it. That's the Wampler Triple Wreck. It's a little bit pricey, for a distortion or overdrive pedal, but it's totally worth it. So I highly recommend you check this out. Go to Wampler's website and check them out. They're great. And if you want the traditional sort of rectifier boogie type sound, this pedal just nails it. So I hope this has been helpful, and I'll catch you next time.